Hi guys, and welcome to the first show of 2025. Yes, I have been away, but I've been overseas and doing some negotiations and putting together another company. As you know, that's what I like to do anyway. And one of the things that really struck me when going over there was that, one of the guys, when I first met them, they were doing a PowerPoint presentation and it just went haywire, went absolutely crazy, everything went wrong. As it always does sometimes for us. And he started getting really embarrassed and really apologetic about it. And I'm just going like, I don't care. I don't even know why we're doing the PowerPoint presentation. I don't even know you. And he was a little bit taken aback by it. And he's saying, well, what do you mean? I said, well, we came to, do business. But, you remember that old saying, people buy people, and I always say people buy people who buy people, and I'll explain that in a minute to you. And he said, yeah, and I said, you've just leapt straight into this PowerPoint presentation, telling me all about your company and how great it is, and I said, you could have summarized it in about one sentence saying, what you do and what's in it for me. Here we are being Mr. Selfish, what's in it for me. But guess what? Your customers are the same. Your customers are like ours. They want to know what you do and what's in it for ourselves, what's in it for me. That should be your opening line, because then I know if I actually want to talk to you anymore. My next sentence from that is going to be how. So he was like, oh, and I said, we haven't even had a coffee, we haven't had a biscuit, maybe because it's from Australia, but I'm going, we haven't even had a chat, we haven't even got to know each other yet. And he said, so what do you do? And I said, look, in this world, normally we don't fly to countries, I do a fair bit of that. But a lot of the time, it's more common to do like a Zoom call or a Skype call. And he said, yeah. And I said, I've had on Zooms and Skypes where it's gone wrong as well. And I said, the PowerPoint presentation, I said, I don't do that. I said, look, an example of what I will do, if I'm talking to someone, say, in India or Korea or China, whatever, or Canada, I'll send them a packet of Anzac biscuits. They're famous Aussie biscuits. I would sell Tim Tams. Tim Tams are delicious, but they're chocolate coated and sometimes they melt and get a bit yucky. But I'll send them a packet of biscuits and say, look, just sent you these for our Skype meeting that we're having, and thought you could have a biscuit your end, I'll have a biscuit mine, we'll have a coffee, have a chat, get to know each other, and make it really informal and really relaxed. And it is really a good icebreaker, You'd be surprised how many biscuits I get sent now from meetings. Oh, Michael, you sent me Anzac biscuits last time. Here, have some of our biscuits from our country. And I said, because people buy people. They want to know you first. They want to get to know you first. So don't set off with the PowerPoint presentations from the get-go. Talk about them. Ask some questions about them, make it fun, mix it in with a little bit about yourself. So I always say, get rid of the elevator pitch. That's Amateurville 101 is the elevator pitch. The old, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is who I serve, this is the number one reason why they use me. That gets you going. That's just something to get it cemented in your head so you're a little bit clear about what products or services and the benefit you're actually giving to people. But once you get past that, we really need to start relaxing into what we do. Once you learn your art form, then you can relax and it can become you. It's like anything else. At the start, you need some kind of formula to hang on to just to get you up and running, and then you can start relaxing into it. So the next stage from elevator pitch, and I say get rid of that one as fast as you can, is to be able to say to people what you do and what's in it for them. I used to run office petitioning. We used to do office fit outs. That's one of my companies. It's just real office walls you can move. Saves you time, saves you money, and lets you get on with business. And people would go, that's curious. Well, what do you mean by that? How do you do that? And I guess the what you do and what's in it for them, I guess that's a really good way of summarizing, actually. It's really a curiosity statement that if it is of interest to them, and this is the thing, is if it is of interest to them, they're going to ask you some more questions. Now, if it isn't of interest to them, they're not. And they're not your customer. And I think that's one of the fears, we're trying to get customers all the time. We don't want to miss out on anybody. And we think everyone's our customer. And it ain't true. I don't care what people say. It's just not true. So don't stress yourself out about that. What you want to do is cut through all the waste as fast as possible. This is one of my techniques, is I always say to people, cut through as fast as possible. Only talk to people who really are interested in what you do and what's in it for them, and people who are actually interested in actually buying your products and services. You haven't got time to waste on the chitter chatter with just anybody. So don't do that. What happens is once you give them the, what you do and what's in it for them, if they are interested, well, how do you do that? I had a client, and I won't say their name, really, really nice guy. We were talking about this, and he came up with, I build the confidence in your team so the teams have the confidence to build more profits in your business. Now, that's a pretty interesting and powerful statement. So someone now who actually has teams in their business, and someone looking at doing a business growth, just someone behind me, and I'm actually getting a little bit distracted. Have a look at this. I'm going to ask you how you do that, but check this out. Check out these bolts. Absolutely sensational, aren't they? Oh. There's nothing better than coming down here this time in the morning and just having a look at these bolts. So where were we? Yes, so what you do and what's in it for them. That'll cause them to ask the how question. Now the how, again, you want to be fast, you want to be succinct, you want to cut through the garbage. You just want people to say, oh yeah, how'd you do that? The tire kickers, everyone gets curious. Window shopping, people looking your shop window, for hours, maybe come around, have a browse, you waste your time, they walk out, they've got no intention of buying. So let's just get rid of the tire kickers, window shoppers as I call them, and be really succinct in the how, which is 3 points. What are your 3 main points of how you do it? I do this, I do that, and I do the other. So what you're looking for is 1, 2, 3. And really, when you do that, you're trying to say, okay, what do I do? Well, like for the confidence in the teams bit, I build individual confidence. It gets them to respect each other and then allows them to focus together on building your company. That's why people employ me. See, 1, 2, 3, as all the 3 are saying, this is what I do and here's the benefits to you. I'm just repeating the same formula, and then from there I'm going, and that's why people employ me, because people like people. People like to do business with people who do business with other people. It's just one of them things, we don't want to be first. Most people don't want to be first. They want to have a bit of confidence that other people are using you, and they want to know why they're using you. So by having that 1, 2, 3, you're sorting them out. Now, if they are really, really interested, they're going to be saying, I'm interested in knowing more. How do you work with people? Now, that's the jump that people tend to make the mistake on. And I see this all the time. Oh, I'll start telling you about my programs. I'll start telling you about my workshops. I'll start telling you about... Don't do that, guys. That's not what your job is right now. Your job right now is to get that curiosity, see if there's really interest with you, 1, 2, 3, and that's why people use you, by again repeating what you do and the benefits to them in a sequence. And now you're going to sell an appointment. You're going to sell an appointment. If you're a retail, obviously it's going to be different. I'm not talking about retailers. I'm talking about us consultants and us relationship builders, where I do contract negotiation. People do coaching. They do consulting. I'm talking about these people. They're selling services to help people build their own businesses. You want to sell an appointment now, because now you want to have a serious discussion. This is a bit like getting at the top of a building and going down the elevator. By the time the bottom, you haven't got the time or the space or in the right environment to start building that know, like, and trust with the person, because you shouldn't be jumping into telling them now about your workshops and your programs. You don't know anything about them. You're doing a PowerPoint presentation, so stop yourself. You've got them interested. They look like they could be a client. So then say, hey, maybe we can have a point. Maybe I can discover a little bit more about your company. Why don't you tell me just briefly about what it is you do right now? Let them start talking, because, you know, people do like to talk about themselves, and really, how can you help me if you don't know much about me anyway? So your natural progression from there is say, hey, let's have an appointment. I can tell you more, but hey, you know, tell me a little bit about your business right now. You know, what is it you do? You know, how long you've been in business? Ask them a couple of questions. Give them a couple of little prompts. You know, what is it you do if you can't? Whereabouts are you located? A couple of little quick questions, so it allows you to do a little bit of research. And then I always say, well, let's swap business cards. Now, if they only want to take your business card, here's a little thing. If they only want to take yours, oh, I don't have it, I'll just take yours and I'll give you a call. That's what I call a red flag. Doesn't always, you know, but 80% of the time, that really means they've got no intention of doing business with you. You can just smile quite nicely and move on. If they're quite happy, yeah, take my card. Ask them when's a good time to call. Get a commitment on when to call them. All you're doing is ticking boxes to qualify them. What we're doing is ticking boxes to qualify them. And the more boxes we can get ticked, the more qualification we can get in there for these people, the more confident we are that we're not wasting our time when we go and present to them. Now, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that they're guaranteed of buying. But what we're trying to do is just get rid of the ones that are guaranteed not to buy. That's what you're trying to do. Get rid of the people, oh yeah, it'd be nice just to have a coffee with you, with absolutely no intention of doing business with you whatsoever. They're just curious people. Let's get rid of them up front. So that's what this whole process is about. I'd like you to think about that, and not so much as the formula, you know, let's get rid of those, you know, those presentations as in formula, and start relaxing, start being you. What is it you do? What is it you do for them? What are your top 3 things you're doing? And that's why people use you. And then be you, be curious. You've got their curiosity factor up. If they want to go further than that, hey, let's have an appointment. Yeah, we'll set a time where we can sit down and talk properly. But, you know, just quickly, what is it you do? You know, how long have you been in business for? I do this. Oh, yeah, and do you have a team, do you? Yeah, I've got about 20 people, 30 people, 50, 100 people. Oh, right. Oh, fantastic. Where's the best place to meet? Shall I pop out to your place? You're happy to come to mine? Knock off some qualifying questions. When's it? Right, I'll give you, let's swap cards. Let me give you a call. How about I give you a call tomorrow? Now, some people will book the appointment there and then. Nothing wrong with that. I have the opinion that they're really interested, giving them 12 or 24 hours is not going to change their mind. And if it does, I figure that if I ring you tomorrow and you've changed your mind, you start making excuses, you weren't that hot a prospect anyway. So I'm not one of these, what they call the red button or the hot button guys who, oh, I'll jump on it now, I'll close you now. I'm not a closer like that. I don't work like that. It's not a retail shop. I don't have to get the sale today. You know, it's not a new car. They haven't walked in, or a used car, I should say. New cars are a planned purchase. Used cars tend to just be a spontaneous. So you kind of got to get them there and then, or they might walk down to the next car yard. I'm not talking about that. In my world, it's, I don't have to panic. I really don't have to panic. Look, if I ring you tomorrow and you've changed your mind, wow, there's that sun again. Ooh, welcome to summer. I don't care. I really don't. I'm not stressed about clients. I'm not stressed about getting them. So I don't care if you change your mind or not. That someone just dropped his boat into the water, and oh, that's a bit late. There he goes. Great way to spend your morning. There's the boat in the water. Oh, very nice. That's a nice way to set your morning up, isn't it? He's obviously going to park the car and come back and meet his mates. So you don't have to panic. So someone says, you know, oh, you've got to make the appointment right there and then or you lose them. Well, if you lose them, they're probably not going to be that good a prospect anyway. I'm in the business of saving my time. I don't want to waste my time. So I'm in the business of let me cull all the no's. Now, I'm probably going to lose some clients and it could have been a yes, maybe, but I'm after the 80% rule. I'm chasing the 80%. The other 20, the fringe, I'm not really particularly interested in. That's just me. And I think that just builds your confidence. I think it does come from confidence. and being a little bit, how would I say, delusional about your own abilities. So yeah, don't worry about that. Book the appointment, take it from there. So I just thought I'd just show you the bolts. This as we wrap up today, and let's make the mantra for 2025. Let's grab our dream and let's not let it go. Grab your dream and don't let it go. I'll see you next week.